okay, our next video is all about waves. We're going to be talking about the basic parts of waves as well as the several types that we have. So we have to start off with a beautiful picture of the ocean. When I say the word waves, I'm sure many of you think of this. There are several parts of the waves that you can see. There's the highest part here. There's the lower part in between. And you can see out in the distance there are several more coming into shore. So what are waves? Well, waves occur when energy passes through a medium, causing a disturbance. Now we will get eventually to talk about the types of waves that can pass through empty space. Only a few wave types can do that. But to start off here, let's just think about those types of waves that need a medium to pass through. That means they have to go through something like the water down here. Okay. We can also use microwaves to cook. I bet many of you thought this was just called a microwave because that's what it was called. Well, it actually uses microwaves to cook your food. There is also light waves. You've probably seen this image before, how white light is actually separated into its various colors. And then this symbol, which is so very important these days, the Wi-Fi signal. Okay, so definitely used for communication and has been for many, many years. So the parts of a wave, I'm going to try to go ahead and label these for you. So yes, take a moment to draw this out in your notebook or on a spare piece of paper. Okay, so we have this up here is called our crest. This is also going to be a crest, and this is also going to be a crest. Okay, down here we have a trough. Okay, I'm sure you've seen that word before. Our next one is here. This is called our line of origin. So that basically means that if you imagine this was water, if this water were still and there was no energy running through it, then the water would be sitting at that level. Okay. Our next part is we're going to go from here to here. It could also be from this star to this star over here, but this is called the wavelength. And the symbol for that, because you know we sometimes get lazy, we don't want to write the whole word, the symbol is lambda, and that's how you make that symbol. Our next one is, now this could be from here to there or from here to here. So distance from the line of origin up to the crest or down to the trough, they are both the same name, okay? But those are both called the amplitude. Okay. If you wanted to talk about the height of a wave, the total height, you would add those together, or it would be from trough to crest. So here's another one. This is the amplitude. What am I saying? No. Haha, just making sure you're listening. Height. It just said that. It is the height. So I think those are the main parts. Wavelength is always measured in some form of a distance. So depending on the size of the wave, it could be measured in meters, it could be measured in centimeters, millimeters, you get the idea, but some type of distance. And a wavelength is actually, it's the distance between two identical points on a wave. So it could be from crest to crest, right, like it is here. It could be from trough to trough. If you decide to measure from just after the crest, you could also go to the same point on the other side just after the crest. So that was how we measure our wavelength. All right, moving on. Okay. Click forward, please. There we go. So these are the terms in word form. You will be responsible for being able to recognize these terms on a quiz or test in the near future. So these are just the definitions. Crest is a high point of a wave. Trough is a low point of a wave. Wavelength, distance between identical wave parts. So crest to crest or trough to trough. And so on and so forth. So if you would like to write these down, now is a good time to pause me and to do that. Oh, one last, or two more terms. Frequency is the number of crests that pass a given point per second. Okay, and so the higher the number, obviously the faster the waves are coming in. Okay, the period is the time required for the wave at A to reach point B, if that makes sense. So it could also be a very slow moving wave. All right, pause me and get those written down. We have three basic wave types. There are mechanical waves. These need a medium to travel through. Some examples include the ocean. So the medium they are traveling through would be the water, correct? Seismic waves. We live in Alaska. We have experienced earthquakes. So those mechanical waves are going through the earth, right? Sound waves travel through the air. The air is the medium through which the wave travels. Click here. This is your textbook link to a short reading about mechanical waves. There will also be an assignment based off of these three links here. Our next type is longitudinal. In this type of a wave, the displacement of the medium is parallel to the movement of a wave. Now, this is a little bit wordy, but you can think of this as more like a shutter. So, P waves, for example, primary earthquake waves, this is like the shutter through the ground before the actual destruction takes place. So you're not going to see up and down movement with longitudinal waves. And I'll show you an example of that here in a moment. Our next type is transverse wave. These are the types of waves that we traditionally think of that go up and down as they roll along, like the waves on the ocean. You can see the crest, you can see the troughs. So the displacement of the water, the medium, is moving up and down, but it's actually traveling, for example, from left to right. So I will show you, there's a cool link here. So longitudinal waves, you can see the wave is moving from point A to point B. We're going to call this point A and this point B over here, so left to right. But they've made a couple of the dots red, you can see the dots are just slightly moving back and forth. So because the wave motion is left to right and the particle motion is also left to right, they are moving along a line, longitudinal. Okay, and this one actually makes it a little bit more easy to see. With a wave, they're following one wave right here. Okay, it's moving left to right, but the particles themselves go back and forth. Alrighty. Transverse waves, these are the ones we normally think about. So if you look at the wave, it does look like it's moving left to right. If you pick any one particle, it's just moving up and down. Okay, so those big waves crashing on the beach, yes, there's lots of energy moving through them, but the water is mostly staying put. Alrighty. Okay, let's go back to here. So our wave parts, you may have noticed on that previous demonstration, as the wave moves through, as the longitudinal wave moves through, there are places where the particles are closer together. Those are called compressions. These are kind of like the crests of a wave. There are also places where they are farther apart. These are called rarefactions. That's a very odd word. Please give it a try. Rarefactions. Okay. Again, so wavelength is between two identical points, so rarefaction to rarefaction, or compression to compression. Again, the wave motion is this direction. The particle motion is back and forth. If you have a slinky, you can recreate a longitudinal wave. Alrighty, I believe that is all. Yep. So we will be adding to these notes and look forward to seeing you later on.